Hey, beautiful. Welcome to the Mindset with Mary podcast. I'm your host, Mary. And here we teach busy minds how to live their most authentic life, how to gain confidence, and how to step into their power. Girl, if you've got a busy mind, then stay tuned because each week we're going to dive into topics like mindfulness, resilience, goal setting, self-empowerment, sharing tips and stories to help you navigate life's challenges with grace and confidence. If you're ready to unlock your full potential and create a life you love, grab a cup of coffee, find a cozy spot, and let's embark on this journey of growth and transformation together. Welcome to Mindset with Mary. Hey, beautiful. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are talking about boundaries, which is a very highly requested topic. And I think the reason why is because y'all are so smart and so in tune. And you know for yourself to actually reach our goals, to manifest the things, to make your big dreams happen, that you have to actually set boundaries. But when it comes to actually doing it, it can feel so scary. And it can be so uncomfortable to the point of giving you anxiety, maybe a little bit of depression because you have this anxiety, and then all of a sudden, you've expanded your energy and the depression kicks in. I know, I've been there. I still struggle with boundaries, but I have come so far and I am so freaking proud of myself. And I feel like the second I learned how important it is to set a boundary and what it created for me in my life, I truly learned how to step in my power and create the most beautiful life. And I'm so happy and grateful because if I didn't do that, I'd still be stuck in depression, anxiety, the frustration, the complaining, the anger, the resentment. I promise you this, when it comes to manifesting your goals, you need to be at a higher frequency, right? You hear that all the time. What does that even mean? Well, I just want to start out with this. Number one, frequency is just your energy, your emotions, how you're feeling. But if people are constantly walking on you and you're constantly feeling disempowered, those emotions are probably going to be down towards resentment, frustration, anger. And where you're at and what you feel is what you create in your life. So let's switch it. Let's switch gears. Let's step into our power. Let's set some boundaries. But before we do that, I really want to take a moment, pause, stop, and tell you how much I appreciate you and how much this podcast has blown up because you guys are sharing it with your friends. You're letting other people know how important it has been in your life. And that means the world to me because that means that we're sharing this knowledge and helping all of us just grow as a community and become amazing, strong, powerful people and create lives that we truly want. So thank you so much for doing that. And because you guys are so amazing, because you're so freaking wonderful, I want to do something for you in return. I'm going to be holding a 5-day self-love glow up challenge, which I know you're going to absolutely love. If you've been feeling the self-doubt, the discontent with who you are, where you are, you're feeling like you can't quite reach your goals, stuck because you know that you're just not loving where you're at right now and you're frustrated with yourself, I got your back. I can help you. Let's jump into this 5-day challenge. It's going to start on November 4th. I'm going to hold it on Instagram, so stay tuned. I'll give you all of the details at the end of this podcast so that you can get signed up and get ready to glow up by learning to love yourself, starting out this holiday season with absolutely the best mindset, learning to love yourself and putting yourself first before you start jumping into the holiday season, taking care of everyone but you. So 5-day self-love glow up challenge coming on November 4th. So if you want to join, first thing you need to know is that you're going to have to be following me on Instagram, handle at Mindset Mary. Mindset with Mary. Holy cow, I can't talk. Handle at Mindset with Mary. And I will put all the information in the show notes and give you some more details at the end. So let's jump into the topic. Today, the first thing I really want to jump into is why boundaries are essential. And I kind of gave you a little gist, but we're just going to go into different topics and reasons why to just really kind of, and I hate to say this, but give yourself a little kick in the ass to remind yourself how important this is and why it's essential. Because I know you know it's important, but like, let's go to a deeper level. So we've already talked about how letting yourself live in that resentment, that energy of just frustration and letting people walk all over you, that is going to hold you back. When you're in that energy, your mind is not going to be able to think clearly. You're not going to be able to see opportunities that present themselves. And if you have a big goal, maybe you're trying to manifest a business, maybe you're trying to manifest new clients, maybe you're trying to, just manifest a new job or new relationship, whatever it is. If you are in frustration, resentment, your mind's not going to be thinking clearly. It's like that saying, if you have this problem, you can't get yourself out of the problem with the same mindset that got you into the problem. So we're going to have to step out of that. And that's why it's essential to set those boundaries so that people understand what is important to you. I'm sure you've heard this before, but you teach people how to treat you. We are no longer kids. We are no longer, that 7-year-old little girl who gets to be told by everybody else what she can and cannot do. You are no longer that person. You are an adult. You get to decide and you get to tell people, hey, you're not going to talk to me like that. I love you, and guess what? That's not okay. I deserve the best. And that's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, but I promise you this, that it gets easier. And if you approach it from the mindset of it being hard, that it's probably going to be hard. You need to know your why. Why is this boundary important? Why? So a couple other reasons, like if you are letting people walk all over you, telling you what you can and cannot do, how are you ever going to know what you want? If you're letting yourself let others tell you what to do, you should apply for this job. This is a job that you should apply for. And you actually apply for the job and you get it. Are you going to be happy if that's not the job you want? You have to stop allowing yourself to take other people's, you should do this, you should do this. And just step back into, you know what? Yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you. However, I think I'm not going to because that's not a very fulfilling job for me. But thank you for offering that. Other reasons, time. If you keep taking on other people's work, right? I know we've all been through this. That's probably why you're here, is because I typically tend to attract people that are similar to me and have had similar struggles as myself, who are people pleasers or recovering people pleasers. It is so fun to just say yes to everything and to help everybody and do all these things. But if you keep saying yes to every single thing, when are you going to make time for yourself and your dreams and the things that you want? And sometimes you have to tell the people that you're really close with, no. And if you listen to, recent podcasts, I talked about how I love my mother-in-law. And unfortunately, my father-in-law passed away. And for us to have to mow the lawn every Thursday, every summer for the rest of our lives sound really stressful to me. And I knew that that wasn't going to be sustainable when we camp every single year, April till the end of November. And we go most of the weekends. And usually it's Monday through Thursday that I have time to, in between work and clients and family and all the things that the kids do, that it wasn't going to be manageable for me to be able to do that every single Thursday. We had a small lawn put into our yard because I don't want to mow the lawn. And so it was really, really hard, really, really, really stressful to say, hey, babe, we have got to figure this out. I'm okay with doing it this summer. I'm okay finishing it out, but this is not going to work long term. I can sprint for a minute. I cannot sprint forever. You're going to have to figure out when is enough. You can't sprint forever. You cannot. You have to take breaks. You have to be able to do what you want in your life, because one thing I've learned is that a lot of my anxiety that I hold deep within is because I haven't done the things that I know are calling to me. Like this business. Maybe you've been around here for a while. You know that I didn't give up 100%. I found a new job. I was excited about it. And I wanted to take that and give it a try and try the career pathway for me. However, in that process, this continued to call me back. Like I continued to want to create podcasts. I continued to want to get onto Instagram and share advice and help people. And it just kept coming and kept coming. And the more I pushed it aside, the more anxious I became about it. And when I finally started doing it again, that weight just fell off my shoulders. But for me to be able to do this, I can't say yes to everything else. I can't say yes to every project that needs to be done outside of work. And while I work at SUU for the athletic department, I can't go to every single sporting event for me to be able to create podcasts each week, for me to be able to show up on Instagram, for me to be able to take clients. I can't do that. And so I had to say, you know what, I'm so sorry, I can't make this game. And it sucks. It really does suck. Setting those boundaries suck. Because you don't want to disappoint the people. But sometimes, what's more important? Having anxiety and depression because you're not fulfilled and happy? Or saying yes to everyone else? You really have to decide that, and you have to know that that is your why. And when you go to set that boundary and you feel anxious about telling this person, hey, sorry, I can't, you have to remember why. What would your life be like had you set that boundary? What will your life look like setting that boundary? See what your life looks like. What does it create for you? What do you get more of when you set it? That's what's important. That's why you have to set boundaries. Because I'm taking a wild guess that you're thinking about what it is that you want to create and setting that boundary that you need to set. And you're seeing a big vision of something really freaking amazing because you decided to step into your power and say, I'm sorry, I can't. All right, a couple other things that you really, really need to understand when it comes to boundaries and why it's so important. People pleasers tend to usually be complainers. So we talked about that energy, right? That energy of resentment, anger, frustration, all of that usually is created when our boundaries are constantly being pushed. The thing that you need to freaking understand about boundaries if you don't set them, people pleasers typically are complainers. Why are they complainers? Because they don't set boundaries. So they sit and complain about the things that they wish they could change when all they needed to do was take some action and say, hey, sorry, this isn't going to work out for me. And while it might feel uncomfortable for a second, guess what? They stop complaining about the thing. Stop complaining and start taking action. It really does suck. The other day, I had to tell somebody that I work with, somebody who's really an amazing person, a really amazing person who's always there to support me and help me. I had to let them know, hey, I'm sorry. I love helping you with this, but if I say yes to every single one of these requests, I'm not going to get my big picture vision jobs done here. Like, I'm not going to actually get the 5-year projections done. I'm not going to actually get, the EADA report that we have to turn in. Like, I have to do these things. And I need to tell you that I can't do this anymore. And while I want to and I'd love to, I just can't right now. And I probably, I can, I probably can help a little bit here, in December and January. But at these times of the year, these are when I'm busy. And so I need you to respect that, or else I'm not going to get my job done. And it sucked. It sucks so bad. And you know what? Like, usually when it's somebody who's a respectful person, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, sure. Like, I totally get it. Like, you didn't even need to worry about that. Whatever you need. Like, do you? And then this person goes, do you need help? Like, can I help you? I know that, like, I didn't realize you had a lot on your plate. Like, how can I help you? People who you set boundaries with are going to respect you more. They're going to treat you better. Now, sometimes there are people who are absolutely 100%, those narcissistic personality disorder type people who are not going to be okay with it. But you can't sit and keep complaining about it. You still have to set the boundary with that person. And they're probably not going to understand, and that sucks. And they're probably, if they are narcissistic, they're going to make you feel bad about it. They're going to say something that's going to break you down, tear you down, make you feel like crap. And you just have to go somewhere outside of that environment and look at yourself in the mirror and remind yourself, hey, here's the deal. I'm allowed to set boundaries. And if people don't respect those boundaries that I have, then maybe those people aren't the right people for me. And just because this person who doesn't respect my boundaries thinks this thing about me does not mean that that's who I am or what I am. Absolutely not. And I know it might feel weird to go and validate yourself in the mirror for the very first time, but do it, because absolutely 100% narcissistic, borderline personality people will not respect your boundaries, and they will find a way to dig a hole into your deepest, darkest insecurities so that you finally just give in and say, okay, I'll help you with it. That is not okay. That's not a cycle you want to stay stuck in. Stop complaining. Set the boundary, even if it's going to be super hard, even if they're going to dig at your insecurities. Remind yourself that they don't get to tell you who you are. And if you're a religious person, remind yourself. If you're a spiritual person, remind yourself, God, universe, whoever it is that you believe in, your higher power, like, you are a child of this universe. You are absolutely 100% accepted. You are forgiven for setting boundaries, and you are 100% determined to set those boundaries, because that's what makes good relationships. Which leads me into my next topic of why. Good relationships have strong boundaries. The reason why my husband and I have a damn good relationship is because we have boundaries and we understand what's important to us. Had we not had those boundaries that we have set in place, then we probably still would not be together. Those boundaries are essential for us. My husband knows that I wake up in the morning and I meditate before I help anyone. Absolutely, without a doubt. And my kids know this. I've taught my kids this because they've learned that I'm a happier, more outgoing, more open-minded mom when I have had my meditation. Not medication, when I have meditated. Medication too sometimes, Anyways, back to the moral of the story here. Like, that's important, because my husband knows that. He lets me do that. He loves me enough that he lets me do that. And I reminded him, like, and he gets to see, like, I'll even say, like, oh my gosh, I'm so ornery today. I guess I haven't done my morning routine. Sorry, like, I should have started my day like that, but I guess I'll just do that next week or tomorrow and we'll start fresh, you know? And sometimes I'll even like, he will be the one to remind me, like, why can't you start fresh right now? Like, just go and meditate. Like, take 10 minutes, go to your room, meditate. It'll be fine. And he lets me do that. He has a very strict boundary around nap time. On the weekends, he naps. He goes in and takes a nap anywhere between like 12 to 2. During those times, I don't clean the house. I don't make noise. I don't bring groceries into the house. I don't do things like that because he needs a nap time. It makes him a better, happier, more fun husband. And because I let him do that, I get to have the benefits of it. That's important. Boundaries are important. So another thing I really want you to consider, are you letting the people you love set boundaries, and are you respecting them? Maybe the way you start out is just by understanding what boundaries other people need and understanding how that could change their life if you were to accept the boundary that they want to set with you. I think it's important that we all know that we give and take, right? We get to have all of these things in our life, but we have to give a little, right? There's that law of polarity. There's a law of polarity. There's, 50% is good, 50% is bad. And that's okay. That is totally okay. Sometimes, 50% of the time, we're going to have to be okay with boundaries that people we love set. But the other 50% of the time, the people that we love get to appreciate and respect our boundaries. So I just really want you to think about how important boundaries are. Not only are they helping you step into your power and create new energy, helping you see new opportunities, have stronger relationships, get to step away from the ones that are really just holding you back from getting to be yourself, right? Especially the ones where, setting the boundary, that person gets to poke at your insecurities. It's time to step out of that. It's time to get out of that cycle and get to decide for yourself what you want and what you want to create. So how are you going to set your boundaries? That's the next thing I really, really want to start giving you some advice on, because I think that if this is something you haven't done, or maybe you have done, it can really get tricky, because when you go to set a boundary, you're almost going to feel like you're going to die, right? Especially if you're a people pleaser. It's like you go to say, you know what? And then like your throat freezes up and it feels stuck, and the words that you want to say just don't come out. And it's like, and it's just really not fun. So I want to go over the steps that I take in setting boundaries. Take what you love, use it. Whatever you don't love, drop it. Create your own steps for setting boundaries. Make a list of how to set boundaries for yourself so that when things come up, that you can know and understand what you need to do. So the first thing I really want to talk about is awareness. The first step is to know that something's triggering you. How do you know to set a boundary if you don't know that it's triggering you? Instead of complaining about it, become aware of it. And once you're aware of it, then you can move into step 2, which is start small, slowly ease in to the process of setting boundaries, because you really need to let your nervous system get on board. You're gonna feel like, oh my gosh, this is not what I want to do. You're either gonna run away, you're gonna get into that fight or flight, or freeze mode where you don't know what the heck to do because you've never done it before. Or maybe you've just never set one this big. And so you need to start slow. And the third step is really to regulate your nervous system. So once you set that boundary, maybe it's at work, go sit in your car for 10 minutes and take deep, deep breaths. Like Count like in through your nose, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold for 4, and then let it out for 8 seconds. Like do that for 5-10 minutes, and just let your nervous system get on board, understand that it's safe, there's nothing wrong, all is okay. Our brains are so powerful, but they try to keep us protected. They try to keep us in our comfort zone. And when you move out of your comfort zone, it's going to freak out. And so you have to be able to regulate that. And there's so many ways to do that. And maybe I can create a whole episode all about how to regulate your nervous system, because that's essential in manifesting, right? If you just stay in that anxiety after you set boundaries, that's not going to be good. You're not going to manifest from that energy. So, step number 4, after you regulate your nervous system, is just continue to work your way through your list, setting boundaries, taking note, and becoming aware of things that are triggering you. And that's really how you set boundaries. And you just keep slowly getting better at it and slowly getting better at it. And you find a way to be compassionate when you don't. You know what? Dang it, I didn't do that today. I promise I'll do it next time. Let's just go regulate the nervous system again, and maybe next time it'll come out. Sometimes you also have to write another like pro tip. Sometimes when you want to set a boundary, write it out on a piece of paper how you want the words to come out of your mouth, so that you can practice saying it, so that when it actually comes time to setting that boundary, it's easier to set. All right, last thing I really want to talk about: how to know if you need to set a boundary. How do you know? Number 1, it's not your responsibility. If you are continuously doing something that's somebody else's job and they continuously take responsibility or take credit for something you're doing, absolutely set that boundary. Number 2, someone continues to say things and do things that make you feel extremely uncomfortable. Now, quick little disclaimer here while I'm on this subject. If you are being physically abused and it's a boundary that you need to set, please reach out to somebody in your local community, whether that a crisis center or whatever it is that you need to reach out to. Those are boundaries that I don't feel comfortable working with somebody on when it comes to coaching. This is more or less just somebody who wants to create a new business and needs to be able to set a boundary with a husband, or maybe they need to set a boundary with their mom because their mom doesn't understand their personal space. Hey mom, you can't just come over to my house at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and open the door. My husband is sleeping. That's just not something we do around here. You can tell I'm speaking from personal experience. But ultimately, I just want to put that disclaimer out because that is definitely a more sensitive boundary that needs to be handled by people who have the background and education and experience to help with those kind of boundaries. And I just want you to know, if that's you and that's your case, please reach out to somebody who can help. My heart and soul goes out to you, and I'm sending you all the prayers and all of the blessings. All right, back into the topic. That's really it. That's all I have to say. I love talking about boundaries because really what it does for you is it creates so much beauty and power into your life. When you tell the universe, God, higher source, whatever you call it, when you let it know that you know you matter, it is going to move and shift things and create so many opportunities for you. And if you don't believe in that kind of thing, let me give you the science. Your mind, when you let it know that you matter, when you continuously practice that you matter, you are subconsciously going to take action on the things that matter to you. So set the boundaries. Let God, let your brain, let everyone around you know that you matter. Because guess what? You do. And that's why I would love to have you in the Self-Love Glow Up Challenge coming in November. This is going to be a quick 5-day challenge that will help you shift from that self-doubt, from that looking at yourself in the mirror and feeling like you're not capable, to, oh my God, I know who I am, I know my power, And now I'm going to start taking action because I do matter. I do freaking matter. I am worthy and I get to move forward. That's what this is going to be all about. And I'd love for you to be a part of it. Real quick, before I leave, I'd also love to invite you to take on the challenge of signing up for a free coaching call. All you have to do is click the link in the show notes. I'd love to work with you. I'd love to help you, whether you're working on manifesting a new relationship, working on manifesting a better relationship, working on manifesting a better health, better fitness, better business, all the things, whatever you're working on, I've got you. I'm here to help you, and I cannot wait to work with you. Please sign up if that's something that interests you, and I hope you all have a great day. Oh, I almost forgot. How do you sign up for the self-love challenge? Okay, let's do that. Link in the show notes. All you have to do is go on and enter in your handle into this little form that I have, and I will get you added to the challenge. Make sure you're following me though on Instagram. Handle is at Mindset with Mary. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a beautiful day. Mwah.